time with Granny Smith apples and nectarines. I've got 2 of each. So at the moment I've just started feeding through some of the apples. And you'll see that these are getting crushed up quite nicely and fed through the machine. Okay, I'm just going to start sticking through some nectarines and just watch what happens when I start doing that. So if you look at the end, you'll see that there's not all that much pulp being ejected. And then if you look down the bottom, you'll see that there's not actually a great deal of juice coming out. So unfortunately, even though I absolutely love nectarines, they are not so good when you feed them into this omega juicer. And even if we start feeding in some apples again, it doesn't really help too much with forcing the pulp through. So in fact you can see it's actually starting to back up the funnel here. I'm just going to keep going just to see what happens. But in effect it's a bit like we're just wasting fruit. There's definitely tons of liquid in this bit here, and that's why it's not coming through to be ejected as pulp. So I just want to see how much juice we can actually get out of our 2 apples and 2 nectarines, and what's actually going to happen when I just keep feeding these nectarines in. I learned quite a good tip from John Kohler at Discount Juicers. His philosophy seems to be that juicing is for vegetables and then blending is for fruits. Now, I agree with that to a certain extent. To be quite honest though, I love juicing apples and I love orange juice as well, so it's not like I blend all my fruits. But certainly softer things like these nectarines would be much better to run through in a blender. I mean, what's coming out the end here, this is really dry. The problem basically is that it's just not, or this juicer anyway, is not dealing with the nectarines as I would like. And basically what's happening is that it's the screen down the bottom is in effect just getting a bit kind of bunged up. The nectarine kind of pulp in here is not solid, but it's not quite a liquid either. It's just really, it's a real thick kind of smoothie type thing. So that's why nectarines would be great for the blender. The only problem with that though is that you can see the nectarine skin is coming through quite nicely. So if you're going to blend nectarines, you might have to peel them first of all, and that would be a bit of a hassle. So to be quite honest, I think I'm just going to stick with eating my nectarines for the time being, and that will save me a lot of cleaning up with this juicer. So I mean, regardless of how long I left this to run, I don't think there's any more that's actually going to, or much more that's going to come out. It is kind of dripping through a little bit, but unfortunately it's just a little bit of a waste, or too much wastage for my liking. So even though this is a brilliant juicer, the Omega J8006, it's not like it can handle everything.